Your account is limited to...
Evening, everybody. Thank you for coming back tonight to the Pigsty. Tonight we have not Sammy just yet. Oh, for fuck's sake. Fuck's sake, Dave. Stop it. Right, well, okay. There we have that. And yes, we Dave here tonight. Dave's going to be filling in for Sammy. Sammy's getting a cup of coffee. At least he's going to turn up. Usually what Sammy does is Sammy's like, I'll be there. There'll be no stopping me. I'll be there. And then Sammy's doesn't turn up because he sleeps in. Because Sammy's in Australia. And he just run a wee bit late. This is why it's taking so fucking goddamn long to get this. But Dave's going to fill in for Sammy. Give us your best Australian accent, Dave.
Don't go Australian.
Come on. Best Australian accent.
Talk about shrimp Barbies, but it's still not Australian. G'day, mate.
G'day, mate. Hold on.
G'day, mate.
See about that. I think there's maybe a wee echo. That should have that fixed.
On whose side?
My side. I think we're sorted. I think it's sorted. Yeah, so Sammy's getting coffee. He's on his way. How's your week been, Dave?
Pretty terrible, really.
Oh, that good?
Yeah, I've been working from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to sleep, so it's a nice change.
It's the joys from working at home and coding from home that you get to work all
Not
the
really.
time. Constantly.
I had a fun break today.
Huh?
I had a fun break today because they broke something.
Anything
So I had to
interesting?
actually go down. No. They pressed the wrong key and it broke one of the servers.
Ah.
Which is quite obscene.
Yeah.
That it really shouldn't do that.
No. From like one button destroy. You see, this is what you're a hacker, you see, and you're breaking into all these government websites. Whenever the FBI come to break down your door, you need that button to just get rid of the server.
Yes. You would think that...
You've got your Faraday cage and all set up. God's not watching. Hello, Divine and Nerdy and Savage and Sandy and Crypto and Secular and Corey Honey and everybody else, Kevin and Artie, everybody that's turned up. I do appreciate you all coming. We can all shout at Sammy when he eventually gets here. He said he just was getting coffee like 10 minutes ago. Must be a really big fucking glass of coffee.
Really, really big. Have a look at that.
Yes, Sandy, it is proof he's not. There you go. Yep. Watch right now. What is it? Is it Watchtower Watchers watching the Watchtower, watching the Watchtower Watchmen? Or will we just go with 420 Atheist?
I'm just going with not Sammy.
Not Sammy.
It just never looked better. That was a picture of God.
Yes, that was a picture of God.
That I accidentally clicked on.
What other pictures have you got in there, Dave, that you can entertain us with?
What other pictures have I got? I've got a spinning me. That's really annoying because it's the background colour.
That's the Batman one, isn't it?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I tried to do that. It just won't work.
I don't like that it does white.
What would you prefer, yellow?
I prefer the same colour as the same grey as the thing.
So Dave, what have you got coming up, Dave? What's happening, Dave? Are you coming back or have you quit YouTube? Everybody wants to know.
No, I've not quit. I'm just not up to it, really. I'm a bit broken. My head is a bit broken and everything else. But hopefully once I finish the project I'm working on, I will be in a position where I can actually fucking work on my head a bit.
It's good to work on your head. Ah, oh.
Oh, he looks awake.
He looks totally awake. Right, Dave, are you staying? Are you going, or what are you doing?
I'll stay. Since I'm already here.
Nice avatar, Dave.
I know you like it.
Hold on, we get Sammy on screen.
I've actually lost that one, I think.
I nicked it off your YouTube.
Oh, yeah, it's on the YouTube, yeah, but I lost the original.
Morning, Sammy. Thank you for eventually turning up and getting here. Beard's looking well, man. Beard's looking well. Liking that. Liking the beard.
Cheers.
So
that's just laziness.
Everybody feel free to shout as much abuse as Sammy as possible because he's only 23 minutes late, Sammy. 23 minutes late.
That's That's actually not so bad
For you, no, that's actually quite
for
good.
me.
Did the alarm go off at all, or did you just naturally wake up?
No, I just woke up. It was set. It was still set when I woke up, so I don't know.
How drunk were you last night?
Oh, not at all. It's been a huge couple of days for me.
Well, before we get into that, we'll do the introductions and all that usual YouTube pigsty bollocks and all that. So, Sammy, there's no links in the description because I didn't think with time because I was rushing. But everybody, like, tell everybody who the fuck you are. Come on, give us a bit of background for those who don't know who you are.
So I am recently become 420 atheist. I was, remember Sammy Jenkins, and I was attempting to start a channel, Watchtower Watches, but I've sort of had the idea of becoming a bit more generalized in what I'm going to upload. So, yeah, become 420 atheist. XJW, which is probably the main focus of my activism, but you know, bullshit or woo in general as well.
You were born a Jehovah's Witness, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
so
a
I was
popular,
born-
you know, for anyone who doesn't know and can't pick up, he's obviously in Australia. But with Jehovah's Witnesses, with that religion, would it be popular in Australia?
Probably similar percentage to the States. So not really. There's about 8 million worldwide. So, you know, there's probably maybe 100,000 in Australia.
Fair amount.
So yeah, not terribly popular, but enough that people knew growing up who they were.
When you left, and to give a wee bit of context and all of you joining the community, what was it that actually brought you into the community? How did you find us fucking agents all over here, like?
So I actually had somebody suggest I check somebody out on YouTube. So I wasn't big on YouTube at that point. And it was somebody by the name of Rob Skiba, who is a flat earther, not a particularly prominent one. He's not popular amongst flat earthers, but he himself is a flat earther, and he holds to the Torah. He still observes the Torah. He believes that giants roam the earth.
Right.
Moonlight is cold, like a whole spattering of things.
Right.
And I didn't even really know about flat earth or anything at that point. I knew what flat earth was, but I didn't know it was really a thing. And I didn't buy into much of his flat earth stuff, but a lot of his biblical stuff I found very interesting. Because as I soon realized, I still had indoctrination hangover from my childhood.
Yeah.
But thankfully, YouTube was suggesting after his videos that I would watch things like Richard Carrier, Bart Ehrman.
Rabbit hole.
And so, yeah, I went down the rabbit hole, and thankfully the rabbit hole was pushing me the right direction.
Well, it's biased, but yeah. We'll not discuss that. But yeah, thankfully it did push you in the correct direction, and you ended up with us fucking agents.
Yeah.
Who was the first?
So, I think, well, the first channel that really sort of got me was Non Sequitur, I think. And that's kind of the community where I met most people that I now know. I think that's where I met you.
No, somebody
And-
told you to talk to me about helping set up the channel. Someone sent you to me. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, that's right.
It was
So
before
that was
Dave,
back in the
so it wasn't even
yeah.
Dave.
No,
No.
I can't even remember. It
No,
wasn't
I
Richard.
met Sammy after.
It wasn't
no,
Richard.
I met Richard through you.
Yeah, yeah. But then the two of us sort of did have a wee. I wouldn't. Part of my phrasing, but we had like a thing for Richard, and the three of us sort of got together, and
Yeah,
yeah, you know, there was a lot of really long late night conversations between me, you, and Richard for a fucking long time, like.
yeah. Well, I mean, there you go. I can't even remember who it was or how. I do remember that. I think I came to ask for help with my Discord.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I met you.
You asked me
and
to
yeah,
help you with
yeah,
your channel.
'cause-
And you were like, will you
Yeah.
come on and help me and shit? And I was like, I haven't a fucking clue what I'm doing, man. Why do you want me there? I'm just comic relief. I haven't a fucking clue what I'm
Yeah.
doing.
And yeah, we hit it off, and I saw what you were trying to do with your channel. It really spoke to me, so I had to reach out and become a patron.
One of the first.
And yeah, the first, I think.
Yeah.
From
And
memory.
if I would be right, you've recently upped it, so I do appreciate that, man. I really do.
Yeah.
You know.
I always said when I could afford it, I'd up it. So,
If we
but yeah,
If we can, is it possible to go a wee bit into? I know we didn't get a chance to talk before stage because you were 23 minutes late. Like, but can you talk about what you do in real life, or can you dive into that? Because you know, I personally find that it showed. Like, I've read reviews that you've gotten stuff, you know, for what you do, and there's an awful lot of good out there, you know, that what you actually do. So if anyone, if you can, man, is that possible? Can we elaborate a wee bit on that?
Yeah. So I run a disability support service, is essentially what it's called here, where we provide what we call individualized supports for people with disabilities. And although, like a lot of things in this country, we do have some of the world leading disability care, but it's still not good enough, in my opinion. So a big part of what I do is advocating and helping people with disabilities to fight for their funding, which is, you know, rightfully theirs, but the government wants to make it difficult because it wants to save money, and you know, it's actually privatized the assessment part for disabled people to get funding. So the part that they have to go and see somebody and actually be assessed on their disability,
Yeah.
and then told how much funding they can have. Well, the government's privatized that part of the process.
You're screwed from the get-go.
So right from the go, you know, they're aiming at giving as much or as little funding as possible. And I know, you know, compared to other countries, we should be grateful. But I think if you settle, you stop moving forwards. So we've always got to be pushing, you know. Yeah, so that's basically what I do.
Was it something that you something that you? What got you into that?
Well, believe it or not, it was I was just unemployed at the time, and a good friend of mine said they thought that I would enjoy this kind of work. I had the right personality and stuff like that, so I did just go and try it on a whim, and it was very daunting at first. I didn't think I was going to make it.
Mm-hmm.
The personal care side of things can be quite confronting if you've never had to do that sort of thing before. But the payoff, the reward, and the feeling of it was the first time in my life that I would go to work and actually feel accomplished.
Yeah.
Like
you did a wee while ago. You sent me a link to the website, and I went and read. There was one particular review. I think it was a mother of a son or whatever, and they tried other cures and other businesses, and it was just like they basically couldn't blow enough smoke up your ass because you were doing really well. And it's okay, you can paint a wall, you know, when you're a painter, great job and all that there. Okay, you can put a pipe in and be a plumber and all the rest of it, you know, but actually going and curing and getting past that, that's one thing that she pointed out in the review, was that you were very connected to the child. You know, the child actually could make a connection with you. They were usually very distant from other people. And it's something that I find you're very friendly. You know, there is that camaraderie that you give off. There's that banter that you give off. You know, give it another half an hour, we'll maybe get to the after party, you'll fucking wake up, we'll get to bloody see it. But, you know, you can't not talk to Sammy. You know, it's very hard to get annoyed with Sammy. It's very hard that I've seen you. It's very rare that I would have seen you have got to the point of getting annoyed. Like, I've seen you in streams just be kicked. To some wee stream, do you remember that night at Nez? I just brought you in and they were just kicking you just for this. They didn't know who you were, and you were just, it's fine, I don't mind, I am very patient, I will wait for you to finish kicking me every fucking time and I'll say hello. You're a very easy person to talk to.
Yeah. And I've often wondered whether that was a result of my upbringing or see, my father was not that. He was, I guess he could be that to the general public, but he was quite horrible to us personally, his own family. I have worked quite hard at not becoming my father, so maybe, you know, that effort has paid off a little bit. But I think probably, if anything, you know, it was probably a fear or a disdain for confrontation, because my father was so confrontational. I guess I avoided it at all costs, and to my benefit. It's so hard to get angry at someone who's not getting angry at you. So yeah, that's something I'm still figuring out. But in regards to like the good reviews and that, I felt completed the other day. I went and saw somebody who I hadn't seen for a long time, because we've actually had the COVID lockdowns start easing now. And he was telling me that a mutual friend, one whom I haven't seen for a very long time, was telling him about my company, and that people who he knows were telling him about the company, and that their son is part of my company, and how my company is going to change the scene of things. And it just really hit home, because that's exactly what I'm aiming for. So, and I don't advertise that fact to anyone, you know, that's, I'm trying to change things because it's not right. So for it to be noticed vicariously.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah,
really,
it's not someone directly talking to you to make you feel good. It's like, oh, they're actually saying nice things about me behind me over there. Yeah, this is great. Yeah. It's good. As you say, it's validation. Like, Maynard Saves, thank you very much. Really, really, really appreciate it. Like, yeah, Good to see, Sammy. October crops are in. You rock, Sammy and the pig. Only got about £3 to £4. We'll do better next year. Cheers very much, man. Appreciate it.
Man Saves is awesome.
No, you really do. As I say, it's the banter, and I think that's why you get on with so many people, is because I don't think there's a genuine bad bone in your body. You know, there's a lot of people that get, oh, he's a great guy, and this guy's always nice and all that there, but, you know, I generally have never seen you really get angry. I've seen you get upset, and we've had a lot of deep conversations, you know, where we've shared stuff and things like that there, but I've never seen you get angry. It just doesn't come to that point.
No, it does.
I've seen you shout at Jehovah Witness stuff, but I would say that's more frustration than it would be anger, if you understand.
Yeah. It is pretty rare for me to get angry. But the problem that I do have is that I have no middle ground. So it's calm,
Psycho.
explode. So
we
don't
should be
get me
grateful,
into
is
the
that what you're
psycho
saying?
mode. Yeah, basically.
From coming onto the internet and meeting the community and stuff like that, is there, bar the pigsty, is there somewhere that you would like to hang about? I would see you all the time. What is it, your guy? Oh, does the breakfast show?
Andy Hall.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, as far as I tell you, that guy's really got his finger on the pulse of current affairs. If you watch what he reports about or talks about, guaranteed it's a week before it's in the news properly, you know. And the spin that he gives it to, not a spin actually, it's probably no spin, is precisely what I'm trying to say, is just, there's probably a little bit left leaning, a little left biased, just a little.
Smidgen.
But considering that, like in Australia, the States, most of their media is right leaning. We need people that are, you know, deciphering these right leaning stories from the left. Yeah. So I can't recommend his channel enough to people. If you have any interest in politics at all, and
it's probably the smack dab. What is it? Probably middle of the night. Well, afternoon for you when that would be coming out, is it?
No, it's late, very late.
Really? See, it's freaking 3 in the afternoon for me. The timing just doesn't suit. I'd be freaking at work when he's streaming. Like.
Yeah. It's now that daylight savings has hit, it's actually midnight that his show comes on. So he's part of the reason I'm always tired. So if you do go over there, give him shit in his chat.
Poke him, tell him, we'll have him on. We'll have him on. Tell him to come over and we'll have him on. Like, have you any other anything else anyone you would recommend from the community or the wider community or outside of it? Is there anything that you keep finding yourself going back to, something that piques your interest rather than the atheism? Is there anything else that would have an interest, something that would give you an interest?
I have discovered a young gentleman. I'll just find the channel here. He essentially talks techie stuff, but explains it in a way that is fascinating, so keeps your attention, but is simple enough that anyone can understand it, but complex enough that you stay interested.
Right. So he has it all.
So, for example, and he discusses like just anything and everything, things that you didn't know you were interested in until you watched the video. He recently had a 2-part thing on heat pumps.
Oh, is it technology connections?
Technology connections.
Technology connection.
Yeah.
You already know the guy.
Oh man,
Heat
he
pumps.
really loves his fucking heat pumps. He is obsessed with his heat pumps. You watch the secondary channel, he's got all the extra information on there. Yeah, I don't know. He's very, very good. He is very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just found as soon as I discovered him, someone suggested him to me. It was specifically the heat pumps one. Because I said, what the hell is a heat pump? I actually didn't comprehend what a heat pump was. We in Australia have had reverse cycle air conditioning, like standard, for decades.
People in this
Obviously-
country don't know what reverse cycle air conditioning is.
It's a heat pump.
Well, it's the heat pump, but can go both ways. It can pump hot or cold.
Me and Dave were talking about heat pumps for like a week and a half, man, too. It was yeah, if anyone didn't think they were interested in heat pumps, technology connections, yeah, you would be obsessed with fucking heat pumps before the end of it. Like.
Yeah. Just, I don't know, his passion comes through and you become passionate for what he's talking about.
And he goes out and he would buy this old timey stuff. What was the one I'm trying to think of? Oh, there was a mechanism or something. It was the old fashioned clocks. That's what it was. The flicker clocks. The way have you seen that video yet?
Not yet,
Right,
no.
do you know where the old flicker clocks, the way they fall down? You know, the scroll is
Yep,
sort of like
yep.
Filofax. How they actually work, man, it's really, really good. It's like, who gives a shit that don't even make these anymore? You know, it's like that's really interesting. As you say, it is. And that's the key. It's about being entertaining, maintaining that information and putting it across, you know, and getting a fucking following or whatever outside of it. There's not one of us is going to stick to atheism and going to do a goddamn thing with our fucking lives on YouTube. You know, we're here for the banter, we're here for a bit of fun, where you get to meet friends, and that's another good thing. You know, you're my token Australian. We've got people all around the world. We've even got friends in Australia. You know, it's fucking you. You know, it's it is a worldwide community that we're getting to meet and the connections that we get to meet and stuff like that. So all this bullshit aside, you know, it's nice to have the views. It's nice to have the 16 people watching. You're quite popular tonight, you know. But we do this to meet people. Our conversations that say me, you and Dave have had, or you and Dave have had, or me and you have had, would just diminish the hours that we've actually done streaming. You know, we stream for 4 hours a day, but we're in contact. You know, if you get you in holiday or something like that, we're talking all the time. Whenever you're, I don't know if it was before you just bought your new Jeep, I think there was a snake in your dash or something, so you had to buy a fucking new Jeep. Yeah, fucking can't go to work this morning. Why? The world's deadliest snake is climbing out of my dash, and it's like, okay, right? Need a new car.
Just for the record, that's not why we bought a new Jeep, but it's fun to tell people that.
It's definitely a reason. Yeah.
Yep.
But the hours
Spider
that
in the house, burn it down.
We used to spend every lunchtime. I used to go and me and you would chat on Discord. We would ring each other my lunch for like fucking 6 or 7 months, maybe longer, when I worked in Lurgan for a while. It's just the timing worked out, you know. And so there's an awful lot of hours spent talking. I would say I would know a fair amount about you that you wouldn't share online, and vice versa. You know, we've both seen each other's evil sort of dark side and our evil skeletons in all the closets. So there is a camaraderie there. There is there's a genuine friendship, you know. And it's I have a fucking another wedding tomorrow. I had a wedding last weekend. I have a fucking another wedding tomorrow, and if Corey's still here, Corey's at the hotel now, and I turned down beautiful hotel, free night stay, big breakfast in the morning and all, and you were fucking late, alright? So I hope you feel appropriately guilty. But we have been friends for the guts of 3 fucking years now, man. You know, it's been a long time coming. I really did just want to have that chat with you. And I know that we chat all the time and all this sort of shit and stuff like, but when we're talking, there's the banter, you know. When we're talking, there's the, you know, Jesus, Sammy's pissed again. Did you see him knock into that thing and knock it over or whatever? We don't get down to it. So it's nice to get that chance to poke down and to let everybody just know who you are. You know, it's something I like to do here, especially with friends, is let everybody know. And Secular Pagan Mum member for 7 months. Thank you. Yay. Oh, hi, PJ. But yeah, it really is. There's a friendship there. And as I say, that's why I'm not at the hotel tonight. I was like, no, we've been waiting 3 years for this shit to happen. Fucking making it happen.
Mate, yeah.
Although there was that
Maynard
little panic.
thought
Me and
I
Dave were
was
like,
60.
oh, he's not going to turn up. He's not going to turn up. He's going to sleep in. He's going to
Oh,
sleep
I
in.
tell you, Robbie, when I woke up and saw the time, I was like, fuck. Fuck, what can I say? It's like, I'll tell him I got mugged or something overnight. It's about the only excuse I'd have left. But no, I seriously got hit by a bus yesterday.
I can vouch
Had
for
my
that.
son in hospital a few days ago. Currently separated from my partner. So having a bit of a rough trot.
Yeah, you sent me the pictures yesterday. It was like, so
So-
this shit just happened. The fucking all up one side of the car busted, and you were parked.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of feel for the bus driver a little bit because the way the road was, his lane went right up to the gutter itself. So the whole paved bit or tarred bit was the lane.
Mm-hmm.
But then all of a sudden, a shoulder begins. Like a painted white line just appears and becomes a shoulder. So if you're right up against the gutter in your lane, all of a sudden there's a shoulder. He should have seen that there were cars parked in this shoulder. He clearly wasn't paying attention. But just the stupid way this road worked, I do feel a little bit for him as a bus driver. But I was watching him come. Like, it wasn't like I just swung my door out to a passing bus. I was watching him in my rearview mirror. And I was thinking, geez, he looks close. And my door was probably cracked open that much, but it was enough that he hit the door and just crumpled it. The window exploded.
Yeah.
And the all over me, a few little scratches and stuff on my arm. But I was holding the damn door. And the next thing I know, it's ripped out of my hand and just crumpled up. And the fact that this bus just kept trundling down the road, like, didn't even brake.
Did it stop at
No
all?
brake lights. No. Did not stop.
It just kept going.
Shop. One guy come running out of the auto wreckers that was parked, that was near where I was parked. He actually ran down the road to try and catch the route number on the back of the bus. But he was hooking that fast that it was already too far away and we couldn't get the number.
I wrecked your door. I don't.
Like,
Bye.
He's like, I'm out of here. The depot was just round the corner, and I believe this bus driver was finished. He had no passengers, so he was probably like, "Fuck this! I'm not stopping." The depot's round the corner. He would have flew into that depot.
Yeah. Clocked out and ran like a motherfucker. Like.
When I got picked up, I got taken round to the depot and I went into the office there. And I said, who can I report that I've just been hit by a bus and they didn't stop? And the guy goes, nobody, I can't take that report. He goes, you have to just go and tell the police. That's a traffic thing. And I said, yeah, I get that. Don't worry, mate. I'm telling the police. But don't you want to know that one of your bus drivers has just been in an accident, didn't stop? Oh, the police will tell us if they have to. I was I was
That's
flabbergasted
shocking.
at that response.
Yeah, it's like,
Um,
could have killed somebody. You're employing a guy, and like, would you not like to go and know which bus it is that's got a busted taillight or whatever on it?
yeah.
I
So
get hit by
that was bizarre.
a bus hit my car when it was parked before he was turning in our yard. Because we used to, I worked on the tires, and he was turning in the yard, and the back end of the bus swung round, and he ripped the whole front bumper off the car. And he came over, and he was like, "Who owns the car?" And I just burst into stitches laughing, and he goes, "Why? Whose is it? Whose is it?" And I was like, "It's mine." He goes, "Well, why are you laughing?" I was like, "Well, either you're going to pay for it, or Ulster Bus is going to pay for it. I don't really care, like, it's nobody's hurt.
Yep.
It's fine. Just fucking pay to get the car fixed, like."
Well, that's kind of how I was. I even was willing to say, okay, it was my fault because I had the door open this much. The shoulder I still had a good meter before the road, so it clearly wasn't me. But all I wanted was an acknowledgement of the fact this dude didn't stop. Where was his duty of care? What if he had ripped my arm off?
Yeah, well, he could have ripped you're attached to the door, and the door keeps going.
Yeah. No duty of care. So
That's been your, stressful.
that was yesterday. Hence why I was a bit buggered this morning, and I imagine I've slept right through that alarm, not even heard it.
Well, as the channel's going, right, is there availability coming up, or is it going to be something that we're going to have to wait a wee while for, or is there any... I know that with the odd time, if you get a wee bit of banter or something and you're free, it's like, right, guys, I found a Jehovah's Witness cartoon, we're going to go and hang out and do something like that. It's not very regular at the minute, but is there hopes for it? Or, like, real life is more important, man. Don't be afraid to say, fuck YouTube, I've got a job and kids and some bastard bus just hit my car.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is the thing. It's, if I didn't have such an important job in real life, plus family, plus all the rubbish going on, I would probably not be doing anything else other than YouTube. Unfortunately, YouTube doesn't pay my bills, so
Yeah.
I have to prioritize, which kills me because my passion is this activism that I'm not getting to do. I guess I'm kind of in a point where I'm ready. I need to take that first step, but I've got the cold feet and the nerves about, is anyone going to watch? Does anyone care?
Nobody's going to watch, and the only people who care is the people who appreciate you. But that's the way YouTube is at the start.
Exactly. And I don't understand why I care about that stuff, because I don't really care if anyone watches it. I'm doing it for me. It's the cathartic.
But at the end of the day, you don't want to be talking to nobody. It's cathartic because you're talking to an audience. If there's no audience there, you sort of lose that. So, to a certain point, it's understandable. You don't want 500 people watching you. You're not that fucking interested. But, it's nice for you to have the 5 or 6 people, and you can get to know them. You get to, again, with the reaching out. Most of my friends are people who originally started as audience members, had onto the channel, talked a wee bit more to Twitter, DMs, and then you end up where you are, where, we've got Dave here, and I'd be fucking lost without that man. I never met the cunt in real life, and he's only 200 miles from me, like. But
Yeah.
Is there anything you would like to add, Dave, or have you fallen asleep?
It's not my fault you can't swim.
It's not my fault your wheelchair doesn't have a motorised bit at the back.
With a propeller.
A wee propeller, yeah. You could just sit there with a wee propeller and come on across. We'll get you some blow-up dinghies for the side of it. Be landed. Dave, would you like to describe your friendship sort of with Sammy? Or have you anything that, about that? The sort of what Sammy's like off screen?
Oh, Sammy's lovely. And if he doesn't stop getting fucking prettier as he gets older, I'm going to scream.
It's the silver.
It's the silver.
Silver fox now.
Yeah. You know, every haircut, I just watch the color disappear. It's all on the floor. I look up in the mirror, there's this grey thing looking at me.
What age are you, Sammy?
I'm 39. So big 40 coming up soon.
Oh, how soon's that?
May. So 7-8 months.
Right. Remember that, Dave. Why am I asking, Dave? Somebody remember Sammy's birthday in fucking May.
I remember one thing.
I don't. Right, just to point out, Jill, he's not afraid. We're actually sorting that out. I've already got another moderator, and I sent you an email asking what times suit you, and you haven't replied yet. So, back to the interview. Crazy fuckers that you've met on the internet, seeing as we'll go that direction. Other than Richard and his out there views, and we all love Richard, he is a crazy fucker. What is the maddest thing that you've come across? The maddest person that you've come across, or something that's...
That's a good question.
There's Flat Earth Aussie Jesus. You could go and shake his hand.
Well, yes. Actually, and he's fairly up there in terms of madness scale. That's probably a good point, actually. The flat earthers.
My mother's in the chat going, apart from you, you mean?
Oh God, Robbie's normal compared to people like that drink their piss, for example.
Or what do you call him? That's the British guy.
Yep.
Yeah. He's also a free.
Well, I just call
he's
him
a free
the dude
citizen or
drinks his
something.
piss.
Yeah, he's a free citizen, and then he done a load of other stuff. He like lived in Ur for a week or something too. He's a madman. Madman.
Yeah. Absolutely bizarre. Like, what I don't get about those sorts of people is I get that they have a mistrust of the mainstream science. And it's good to be skeptical, but how can you be skeptical of a consensus, right, and a majority, yet take the word of some YouTube video that you saw or some Facebook post? Oh, you know, science says we piss because it's all the shit our body wants to get rid of. But I'm going to ignore that, and I'm going to listen to this fruitcake here that tells me to drink it because it's good for me. Based on what?
People want the secret knowledge. They think they know something that someone else doesn't know.
Yeah.
And I think that keeps a lot of people. It sounds plausible. And then just a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. And all of a sudden you think there's a fucking dome on top of us.
Or you're drinking your own urine.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. That being illuminated, one of the illuminated.
Mm-hmm.
But that's really arrogant to think that you are smart enough to have figured something out that everyone else hasn't. Yeah.
No one else. And even if I don't understand that, because it's like, firstly, it's like they assume that the people that are selling stuff to them, selling those ideas to them, aren't making anything from it. I mean, we now live in the age where anyone with a stupid idea. I mean, one of the lead fucking anti-vaxxers has just started his own site, and he's got a ridiculous number of people paying him $6 a month to hear him spout his stuff.
Well, that's what I mean. It doesn't sound much. You only got to get 100 people giving you $6. Yeah, $600.
Mm.
Patreon, MathPig. Patreon. Just $6. I'll be your friend. But that is, Sammy, it's something that you've been around for a while, you've been supporting for a while, and it's not just the Patreon that's got us to this stage level. You know, you've done that because of the friendship that we've built up. And I really do, if I can, just publicly want to get a chance to just say thank you, man, for the support. And not just financially, but there's been days, as I say, in that car park outside the fucking petrol station in Lurgan on the fucking phone to you, and you're like, you know, I've been upset, I've been having some days, and you've been there, and I just want to publicly say thank you, man, just for being a friend. Thank you for being a supporter and someone that I can turn to, because it is hard to find someone, especially on the internet, because I've never give you a high five, you know. We've sat and we've got drunk together and we've talked shit and all that there, like, but I've never got to like smack you in the face or something, or push you over or whatever, you know, and shake your hand. And it's hard to get to that level of trust with someone on the internet. You really have to spend a fuckload of time with them. You have to really talk to them and get to know that person. And just thank you, man.
No, I haven't been around as much as I feel I should have. So I do appreciate that.
Fucking dog.
What was that?
That's the dog, alright? My 90-odd-year-old dog, alright? He'll be 18 in April. So what's that? 15 times 7 add 3. He's fucking 90-odd, like, and he's still lively as a motherfucker.
That's phenomenal.
What? Come here. Come here. Come here. Come over. No, he's just giving me dirty looks now. No, just giving me dirty looks now. We will probably. Do you need what 15-20 minutes in between breaks to go get yourself sorted or whatever, or can we jump straight to an after party? You're
More
up for a
coffee.
while.
Yeah. You can jump straight to it, but I'm gonna go and make another coffee or two.
Yeah, well, we'll do that there. So if anyone does want in, just tag me in the chat and I'll send you a link, you know. But we'll probably be going for a while. I'm off work tomorrow. Sammy's off work today, I do believe, yes. There was talk of daytime drinking, but we don't know yet. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Let me get through the coffee first.
If you had got up when you were supposed to. Hi, BrainBug. Hi, Bree.
I know. Hey.
Another one who has moved past the viewership, moved past the panelist, and has someone who has become a very good friend. Lots of love for you, Bree. Big hugs.
And in the after party, I might go into a bit more of the period from leaving the cult to my unindoctrination just a year or two ago, and the sort of in between.
Yeah. Well, on that, I will ask you a question, and we will say I'm just trying to fill time to find Artie on Twitter. There we go. From the indoctrination, what is one thing now where you are that you did feel was very repressed that you're now enjoying? So say for Toxic, like an example, you weren't allowed to read comic books, now you're an absolute comic fanatic. Or what is something that leaving the Jehovah's Witness cult that you now really enjoy, and something that was repressed? Like, is there something that you're very glad for?
I guess I enjoy the fact that I can now express it and explore it. I not so much have got to experience it, but sexuality and orientation. And although I've known quite clearly that I am attracted to both or all sexes. I'm going to say all sexes. I didn't, like with the indoctrination, not realizing I still had some hungover indoctrination. I didn't consider myself LGB until very recently. Even though I knew I was, in my head,
It's the acceptance of it.
yes, it's like I forgot, even though I never remembered in the first place. It's like I forgot I was actually part of that group. And I was standing on the outside, supporting and advocating, and then went, hang on, that's me. And that's how powerful the programming is. That even though I knew what I was, I didn't know that I was.
Savage has pointed out, as you say, with programming. Excuse me. Savage has pointed something out in the chat. You said LGB, which usually refers to TERFs rather than LGBT. You didn't say the TQ at the end. So there you go. There's maybe or maybe you're just still half awake and forgot what the other letters were. That could be working.
No, too. I'm learning. I thought the T was for trans.
Yes, it is.
But I didn't say the T.
The phrasing LG, I don't know. We'll not go down that route, but it's just using them, I think, refers to whatever. But yeah. But as you were saying, it's the coming out of it and realization of who you are personally.
Yeah. Just not having to repress that. I can't think of anything that's been more psychologically damaging than repressing your very being of who you are. And it's not even like an active repression, because you're just doing it constantly, subconsciously, through that.
I wouldn't even say that it's, I don't know if I could, personally I'm just trying to give it back, but when you're grown and when you're raised in that, it's not something that you think about or whatever. It's not something that you would necessarily go out of your way to, look down on or put down or anything. It's just for you and the people who are around you who are giving you these ideas, what you are portraying yourself as is the norm. And it's not that it's repressed, but it's just not something that's been experienced. Yeah. Sexual awakenings are fantastic. They definitely are. Like,
yeah. That and the other big one, which is nearly as good as sex, is Christmas. XJWs love Christmas.
Really?
We just love it. Yeah, because we missed out, man. We got to catch up. Like, I am that little 5-year-old running down to see what's under the tree.
Oh. I just don't get Christmas.
No, well, I always hated it. And see, that was actually part of the indoctrination hangover. I hated it because it was commercial and it's lost its meaning. And, why are you calling it Christmas? But it's just about presents and this and that. And it's like, bullshit, Sam. You're jealous because you couldn't do it. You want presents. You want Santa. Admit it. I want the big happy family sitting around the table, stuffing their faces, getting pissed, being silly, avoiding the creepy uncle in the corner, and I want all of that.
Well, I'm cooking Christmas dinner this year now. I'm cooking Christmas dinner for me, Corey, and her wee lad. So we should see how that goes. I've done Boxing Day dinner before, but that's not hard to do, so to speak, because it's just, you're only cooking the veg and you've got the meat cooked from the day before and all. But it'll be my first time cooking Christmas dinner from scratch, right, the whole way. So expect lots of fucking and blinding and burnt things, and it should be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be the best Christmas dinner ever.
You doing turkey?
Yeah, I'm going to do turkey and ham, and I make my own stuffing. My stuffing is legendary, man. You should try my stuffing. My Christmas stuffing. And my stuffing in general is just really no meat or anything, just bread and sage, onion stuffing. It's lovely.
I
You like a
love
good
some
stuffing.
good stuff.
Oh, I love a good stuffing, Dave. Well, what we will do, we've got Artie. I've sent Artie out the link. If there's anybody else that wants in, have we any questions? Dave, have you anything that you would like to ask Sammy?
No.
Wonderful. Sammy, have you anything that you would like to state or say, or anything that you would like to put across?
No.
Yous are fucking useless. Yous are absolutely fucking useless.
No. Definitely check out Andy Hall's channel. It's the Disappointed Cat Morning Show. Get your news from him. Get your morning news from him. Don't don't watch Fox News.
I don't think we watch Fox News. Yes, Grant, there will be. Grant Farmer, never seen you here before. Thanks for coming by. Grant, if you'd like to join, just hit me up on Twitter or hit me up on Discord. All my links are on the page, and we'll get you in. You can join an after party with Sammy. But yes, I think we're going to be fantastic.
Is that Grant Farmer?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a legend. When he gets his channel up this coming month, hopefully he's aiming for November. Similar techie stuff to the guy we were
Technology
talking about
Connections.
before with the he's currently setting himself up a little stage and stuff to do his bits and bobs technology stuff.
If you need any help with setting up the stream or anything, Grant, again, reach out to me, man. We can do productions, maybe set you up a wee intro or anything like that there if you need some help. It's all basic, but we'll get you up and going, like, you know. We taught Sammy everything he knows. Which ain't much, but...
And you should watch him with a whiteboard. I have never seen anything as funny.
Right, well, what I will do is I will schedule an after party. And, Sammy, rant on about yourself there for an wee minute.
Well, I guess I should have brought me a channel link. That's how prepared I was.
Here, I hated looking for your channel link because you went through a stage of the Watchtower Watchers, then the Watchtower Watchmen. There was like 3 names, and I could never find it. And if anybody has seen the movie, the Watchmen, you type in that, and you just get that. You can't get Sammy at all. It was like, man, so annoying.
Well, it started Watchmen because there was originally going to be 4 of us. Then when I didn't pull my finger out, I couldn't expect people to hang around and wait for me. So that sort of went under, and I realized 2 men, well, that's a bit, unequal. What if I don't have a man on there? What if I have a woman on there? So I changed it to Watchers instead of Watchmen.
Right.
And then because I was going to end up being by myself, I thought, well, I can't have the plural. So I became Watchtower Watcher. So that was the 3 iterations.
And then you were a fucking a Yeti or a abominable snowman.
Bigfoot.
Oh, Randy Bigfoot.
Randy Bigfoot.
Randy Bigfoot. Yes, you were Randy Bigfoot for a while. Like I didn't get a chance to finish the thumbnail, right? But it's like MathPig has, and then I have like Watchtower Watchers, Watchtower Watchmen, and the 420, and that's what it was. I couldn't remember. Sandy Bigfoot. What was it? Sandy Bigfoot? Randy.
Randy.
Randy Bigfoot. That was another name. And now we're 420 Atheist.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Right. Okay.
And this is probably where I'm going to stay because, to be honest, I've I searched YouTube high and low, and there's few different iterations of it, but somehow no one seems to have grabbed the name 420 Atheist. I guess because it's a bit childish.
You're a
But,
big kid.
hey, that's me.
You're a
That's
big fucking
me.
kid. Like.
And the shit's still illegal in my country. So
Yeah, we don't smoke
know,
here in
it's
this
close
country
to
because
my
it's illegal.
heart.
It's illegal here, so we don't
Yeah.
smoke it here either.
no,
Bad for you.
I think I sniffed it once in a passing wind.
Yeah, back at the bus stop, you know, and in college that one time.
Yep. I didn't inhale.
Yeah, didn't inhale. Right, so on that note, we will bounce across to the after party. It is set up for 15 minutes from now, but it'll probably go live as soon as we're all ready. I've posted the link in the chat, and yeah, I'll post it again. And that's it there. So, bounce on over there, people. We've got 19 watching. It would be good to see at least 10 or 15 people over there. It's going to get more. Hello, James Henry. Just joining. The link above, James. Click it. Go there. We're going to after party this shit where it'll all get out of control. Sammy will have woke up and you'll get to hear the real stories. Maybe get some of the skeletons out there from the closet. So, yeah. Hit the link. Bounce on over there. If you get a chance, you know, if you want to, members and all that, everything goes towards helping other people in the community and getting bits and bobs, and then, you know, really does help out. And yeah, don't forget, like, Sammy, love you, man. I just, you know, love you. If I could give you a big fucking hug, I'd be afraid of you grabbing me ass, but I would, you know, it's a great ass, but I hope someday, you know. You were going to use your fucking business, wasn't it? I'm putting it on my business account. I'm coming to Ireland for research.
Yeah. Absolutely. Now this pandemic's ending. I've already been looking into flights and all sorts.
There's your bed there, man. It's a fold-out two-seater sofa bed. It's right there. So awesome. On that, we'll see you all over at the after party, and yeah, hit the link. People, think for yourselves. Really do. And yeah, we'll see you back here in about 10 minutes. If I can find the button. Bye.